This week on Get a Grip,
we're getting up close and personal with Vicky's boob gooch. It's a thing.
we're calling for change on the Cannes red carpet.
Free the nipple!
Free the nipple!
Free all the nipples!
We had our first ever email, and it's not from a big hairy troll. Love you, Shar. And Ange is surprising us with her beatboxing skills.
What in the world is coming?
All that and more coming up right now. Hello and welcome to Get a Grip with me, Angela Scanlon.
And me, Vicky Patterson.
This is the podcast where we get loud about the realities of womanhood, make sense of the mad and sometimes maddening world around us.
And basically dive headfirst into the chaos of life. No filter, no apologies, and absolutely no fucks given.
So if you are sick of being told to pipe down, calm down, love, or dare I say it, get a grip,
then you're exactly where you need to be.
Grab a drink, pull up a chair, take your bra off. Let's get into it. I'm sticking with it, okay? I'm sticking with it. I want it on a t-shirt, actually.
But it makes me want to take my bra
Do
off.
it.
Nobody needs to say
Live
that.
your life, babe. Honestly. I think you've made it when you're able to like roam around free with your tatas hanging low. That was not a reference to yours. But like
they
there's
do.
a freedom. I have such memories of a family friend of ours who just like she definitely did not wear a bra, but like she was big Nana vibes, and honestly it was the most comforting thing ever. I used to call them pillows, and I'd like gently bounce on them in the car. She was so snuggly.
But I think it's lovely that you remember it all this year, like all these years later. But quite frankly, I don't want to be known for my saggy tits.
No, they weren't saggy. They were voluminous. They were pillows. They were like pillows. But it was the access to them, I think. And like she was welcoming me into her bosom, and it was just a real safe space.
Metaphorically and physically.
All of it.
Whenever I don't wear a bra, even around the house, Can goes, nipples. And it just nipples.
Like
And
in a kind of pervy way.
Yes, exactly. And it just
You're
ruins
like,
the whole...
get a grip.
I'm like, you're fucking 30 odd, you little creep. And it just ruins the whole like Earth Mother vibe for me when I've got this little weirdo following me around going, nipples.
But
Love you,
also
Eric.
it's the uniboob.
No, I don't have a uni boob.
Oh,
Do you
lucky
have a
bitch. I think it's just more when like the fabric just kind of, I probably have one right now.
Do you mean the fabric of your skin?
No. Are you going around the house with your actual tits out or with clothes on? Like, is he seeing nipples through a top, or you're just...
Yeah, my nipples are through the top.
Yeah, fine.
I'm not fucking swanning around with it all
I
out.
know. Well, you seem surprised that I would put fabric on to create a uniboob. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I think it's when the fabric conjoins in the center and there's a kind of one singular, like uniboob, I think it's called.
So I think you must have perky, like...
No,
little-
big tatas, secret ditties.
Really? Because for me, I get what I call the boob gooch. Because both of mine are just so heavy.
The boob gooch. Have you done the pen test? Oh, it's epic.
I don't need to know
So
mine
what's
would
the
hold things
boob
up.
gooch?
So when I lie down, they just basically both fall to either armpit,
Ah, that's normal,
and I
isn't
just
it?
have like Gulf of Mexico in between. And it's like I have just like no chest at all, just flatness. And it's the gooch, the boob gooch.
The boob gooch. Gooch is a different word though, a different thing, isn't it?
Well, a gooch is normally
Historically.
between your
butthole. Butthole in your lady hole.
yeah, all the holes.
Okay, wow. You know, there's a very famous footballer in Ireland.
Yeah.
He played for Kerry.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where the
very-
Kerry Gold put us from?
Yeah, exactly. Get in. The Golden Veil. Anyway, they won. They were like a very dominant team back in the day, and he was called the Gooch. And so you'd hear like a commentator going, and the Gooch is coming on left wing, and it's the Gooch again. And nobody batted an eyelid when the Gooch scored a hat-trick.
Oh, that is actually such a good name. But yeah, not so great for titties.
No. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
The honesty box. I feel like this this show could be called. I feel like this podcast could be called The Honesty Box.
No, sadly,
it's done.
Don't get started on that. We had murder getting that name. Like right until the last minute, mate. I was recording alternative names for it. Because,
what were the other names? Can you tell us?
Oh my God, True Romance,
cute, but no.
Love and Lies, and Trutopia.
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
See, Trutopia, I don't think. I like referring to the island as Trutopia, but I don't think Trutopia as a title would have been. It's good.
It's not succinct enough. Like it doesn't tell you what it's going to do.
Exactly.
Does it? And you need to smack people in the face with it sometimes, don't you? So
I like that. What was it? The truth. The trust fund.
The trust.
I like how only towards the end did I realise that the trust fund was like a play on truth and trust and honesty, but also I was just like, why are they talking about like a trust fund? It's so nepo. It's so aristo. Like. And then I thought, oh, nice. Yeah, they've thought this through.
I do think, obviously I'm a bit biased. I really like the show. But I do think it was smart. And I do think it was different. Like, don't get me wrong, at the bones of it, it is just a reality dating show. And I love that as well. But I thought there was a couple twists, a couple little spicy add-ons that made it very different. And no, I'm really proud of it. I'm sad it's finished. Although I'm sure all my Instagram followers are really looking forward to us posting anything fucking else. Because it was just relentless. So
I like that. Commitment. Commitment to the bit. Are there any things that we didn't see that we because I was in?
I love that you are in.
I was invested.
You're such a girl's girl. I love that.
I was invested. And also I had really strong feelings and opinions.
It's very hard. So lots of my friends and family have watched it and been messaging and been like, fucking hell, so and so, this, that and the other. And
were they talking about Tommy?
No. Actually, there was another character that was quite divisive as well.
Am I right or am I right?
I just think she's in the honesty box right now. There's no trust fund, babe, I swear. Stop making me uncomfortable.
Sorry.
No, but and I'm obviously just really protective, mate, as you would be, coming from the background I have and having people have opinions of me all the time, which when sometimes I might have actually been a bit of a knob on the telly and sometimes I did do things that, I regret and whatever. But ultimately, just a bunch of young people navigating falling in love on the telly and they're going to make mistakes, they're not going to get it all right. So I did feel like when people were messaging us a little bit protective, almost well, he's doing this, but X, Y, and Z. So it was a funny one to be, and I felt like a bit like their mums, to be honest.
But you could feel that, which I think was lovely, as in it wasn't a you and them. There was a care to it that I think was palpable. But also you do realise, having done Strictly, I'm not saying it's anything like the Honesty Box or any of those shows.
But Strictly is
you're
savage.
so in it and you're so removed from the fact that actually people are watching this. You just don't you kind of disconnect from the fact that somebody at home will be sitting with their nan or their kid watching this and making, having opinions about you. So I realise now how on a dating show or on a Big Brother, on a reality show that's big like that, how you genuinely forget yourself.
You lose yourself so quick. And especially a lot of the I don't want to say hidden camera stuff because that makes it sound really creepy, but the fixed cam stuff, it's very easy to just get lost.
Yeah.
And these things are pressure cookers for emotions, and like you say, Strictly you experience a bit of that, you get in your bubble. So there's a lot of that going on. But
and you miss people and you're
and you're looking for connections.
Totally. And you can see some of them going, I came here to meet someone. Then you're looking around going, I'm pretty sure he doesn't give a shite whether he meets anyone. Do you know what I mean?
He's just here to get his leg out.
Exactly. So but I really loved it. And it turns out lots of people did because it broke records.
It did.
Amazing.
It did really well on A4 and we're dead proud of it. I'm keeping all my fingers and toes crossed for a second series, so we're going to let it go. Because anybody fucking watched Love Island at first, did they?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? I've got loads of pals who did the early series who were absolutely brilliant TV characters who didn't get the half of the opportunities that sort of later seasons got.
It's got to grow. People have got to know what the format and understand the trust fund.
Yeah. Shall I give a spoiler?
Oh my God.
I hope everybody who's listening to the podcast probably watched it, but some of the couples are still together.
Who? Okay, can I guess?
Go.
Okay. So my outsider couple, who I really fell for in the end, and I actually thought they could have done the whole thing, was Vicky and Tobias.
I love them. So much.
Tell me they're in love.
Unfortunately, they're not. No, I'm so sorry. I just think, so Vic and Tobias were this real slow burner, and very refreshingly relatable. Like they didn't rush anything and they didn't do this whole like we're in love straight away.
And they weren't licking each other. Like they weren't full PDA. It was like, and he was very realistic about like, why are you all talking like this is like we're going to get married next week? I know you a week, which slightly cuts through, doesn't it? You're like, babe, we're all in it now.
And Vic was the same. Like they honestly were a match made in heaven.
There was a maturity to them.
Yes, which, and honestly, I can wax lyrically about Vic till the cows come home. Like,
and her shirts.
Yeah, she was just she actually commented on my Instagram once saying she loved your Crocs. It was yeah.
Well, they're for the women. More on that in a second.
Not all the women.
No.
But yeah, she is so cool and like was a real advocate for women and kind of showed like you can be strong and powerful and everything without having to be loud. I just thought it was a really great representation. She was great, but unfortunately they're not together. Our winners, Chantal and Jovan, they're still together and they're in love.
I love them.
They're
so
amazing.
Much.
She's like obsessed with it. She keeps saying, Vicky, I'm obsessed with this man. And I'm like, fuck it. I can see why he's lush, but she's incredible as well. So amazing.
But like, again, just beautiful, kind of again, quite measured. And the build up, it was just, there's a real sweetness to it. Even, you know, the build up to their first kiss, it was like, everything was very kind of gently thought through. Yeah, there was just, it was kind of like watching your very first little Roma. It was very cute. I loved it. I'm glad to hear they're in love still.
Yeah. But enough of that because I'm starting to feel like we're just yet to promote my shows. But I mean, I do love it.
It's on E4 still, or it's on 4. What is it for?
You can binge it all now, babe. So it's on that all for the platform.
Yeah, that one.
The platform.
So I'm glad that Vic liked my Crocs.
Well, yeah, she did. Yes, I thought you meant me, and I was going to navigate.
Wow. Gently swerve.
I like your pedal pushers.
Thank you.
I do like them. I love a good pedal pusher.
I love a pedal pusher.
That was so much. Was that your era growing up?
It was my era. I had a sky blue pair that I was very proud of with a little diesel zip up top.
Did you do? Did you also do handkerchief tops?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Jennifer Aniston. I worked in a fabric shop in America and I used to steal cuttings and like I'd have handkerchief tops for all the girls and we'd the wardrobe was insane.
You've lived a fucking sneaky life.
I have lived a sneaky life. Yeah, I once fell asleep on the toilet.
That wasn't quite what I was talking about. I was more like, I worked in a fabric shop in America. I was like, whoa.
Sorry, in that fabric shop.
Right. Was it just a big deal?
It was a long summer. But yeah, my pedal pushers, my husband's not into them.
I don't think men necessarily get... So I don't
fashion or women or life.
The list goes on. But I definitely think I'm one of these women who dresses for at least tries to, dresses for the female gaze rather than the male. Like, I've never cared if a man's like, fucking hell, she's lush. Like, get back in your hole. But if a woman... anyone... But like, if a woman in the toilet's is like, oh my God, where did you get your dress?
Oh, it's girls and the gays.
Bullshit.
I couldn't give a shit. Yeah. It's man repelling. But like, I think I maybe take that to... levels.
But women love it, so who gives a shit? Like,
exactly.
That's what I'm here for. And I do think so your husband doesn't like them.
He asked me if I was going to the gym and I don't go to the gym. So I feel like that was a backhanded, dig. But I do a thing on my Instagram called Things My Husband Hates.
No.
Yeah. And like, there's no shortage of items. The most recent was a very large hat that I actually bought, and usually I will, in spite of myself, wear the thing, right? But this hat has been dragged around the world. I've never actually worn it.
Hats are bad for that, though, aren't they?
Honestly, no, this is like this level of brimage with a big kind of scarf thing.
Ooh.
Like,
I think it'd be nice for an Instagram pic.
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, but it was expensive for an Instagram pic. I felt like it needed a bit more wear to justify the purchase. But I do love a big old brimmed, like a wide brimmed hat.
I feel like with hats, I always like carry them. Oh, it's the inconvenience of them. Like, how many people do you see like storming through the airport with like that straw hat?
Yeah.
Like, I just can't get away with that. I've got enough to carry. I don't need to be. Can you pack your hat?
No, I wear sometimes 3 hats on the airplane.
Fuck right off.
Yeah.
See, that's...
But it's a pain that now that I have children, I cannot really bring the hats. Like the hats were like a little small child that you delicately, transport from one country to the other. And there was justification in that. Now I've got 2 wildebeests to transport from one country to the other. So
now, unfortunately, take precedence over the hat.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. Anyway, so enough of that. We've got our first message, our first ever email, in fact, from one of the gagglers. This is from Shar. Shall I read it out? This feels big.
No, go on, please do. I'm going to listen intently.
Because sometimes you send the old email out and you think it's gone into the void, and then boom, you realise somebody's listening.
Come on then, go on.
Hello, gals! ! Do you want me to read the grammar?
No, you don't need to do the punctuation.
Your chat about the BAFTAs and getting back to a hotel room and finally stopping breathing in made me want to ask you, when the hell will we stop giving a shit about our tummies? I'm in my late 20s, but I'm in menopause. Oh, wow. And the hormone changes mean I store more fat around my lower belly. It doesn't matter how much I do in the gym or whether I lose weight, I naturally will always have a pooch. I just bought some gorgeous outfits for my hen do in Malta, but the voice in the back of my head is shouting, buy shapewear, wear something less fitting. And I wish it would shut the fuck up. My brain still won't accept that it's okay to have lumps and bumps.
I'm just so emotional.
Oh, babe, don't.
I love her so much. Has anyone got a tissue?
Oh, Shar. Our little Shar. Thank you for sharing this email with us. I think buy shapewear and then chuck it in the bin.
Set it on fire.
You do not want to be on your lovely hen do in Malta, uncomfortable and like afraid to exhale.
And also, I've just found out that Malta is the #1 place in the world for members of the LGBTQ plus community to live. So they're obviously a very accepting and understanding and just lovely nation. So go and have fun there. Dance with all the gays.
But you know what? I do think that's it. I know that because I do think there is a thing with women and their bellies or their pooches or whatever you want to call them. And we all have this kind of expectation. Certainly, I have images of the Christina Aguilera and the Britney Spears, and there was a fixation with the midriff and a very low slung hipster gene. And it was kind of, there's an ideal that was very singular for us growing up. And so I think no matter how much you try to shake that, it still lingers. And there's obviously relevant current people that, make the same.
No, those are my references too.
Yeah, okay. But Shar is in her late 20s, so I feel like she might have different people. But like,
I can't help you with 20s references. I'm old.
But like, it's the same thing. But I do think I have this weird. Now, don't take this the wrong way. After I had kids, I have always been like very punishing with my body. It was almost like it was a separate thing to me. And so if I went to the gym, it was like to punish it.
It was
to
a punishment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was to like work it really hard and you were supposed to, it just never felt very
celebratory of what your body can do.
Accepting, compassionate, any of those things. And after I had children, I started to think of my body differently. And I would love that if in my 20s I had the same level of compassion. And I sometimes, even still now, will like wake in the morning and like, sorry, this is going down a road that might sound. I was going to say wake in the morning and touch myself, but I didn't mean it that way. I mean actually like put my hand on my belly, put my hand on my heart, and like actually get in tune and like feel your skin and like respect and appreciate these bloody milk stems that walk you around every day and that, digest your food, your tummy. Like our bodies do so much that we never acknowledge or give it credit for. And so I think it would be epic, Shar, for you to feel that 20 years before the fact.
I know. And you know, everything you say is so right. Like, but we are absolutely conditioned to hate ourselves from a young age. I remember growing up with that circle of shame on all the mags, you know, heaven forbid a female celeb had been caught with some body hair or cellulite or a tummy
little sweat
roll,
patch.
anything, you know, and like the special K diet.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, fucking eat 2 bowls of cereal a day. Like, now,
Yeah.
when are you going to lose weight? Like, it was all just so toxic, right? And, you know, if you grow up in your formative years reading all that, believing all that, like it's going to take a lifetime to undo that type of conditioning. But I'll say this, Shah, from the bottom of my heart, no one is going to stand up at your funeral and say, oh, she looked so good in a bikini. Oh, a thigh gap. Or a flat tummy. They're not going to say any of that. They're going to remember how you made them feel. Yeah. They're going to remember the sound of your laugh. They're going to remember that weekend in Malta. They're going to remember how kind you were, compassionate, how wonderful of a person you were. And I just think if we could get out of our own heads a little bit and stop being so hard on ourselves.
Oh, babe.
I'm sorry, I'm due on my period. I hate this bed. I'm just leaking.
God, your bladder
you
is
know
so
what I
close
mean?
to your eyes, and I love that for you. It's true, though. It's all like really not that important. It's a load of balls.
It's all bollocks, and we just need to be nice to ourselves.
Yeah.
I hope you have the best time when you're Hindu, Shah.
in Malta with all the gays. You're gonna have a fucking ball.
Yes!
Woo! Let it all hang out.
We think we should play It's Raining Men or something now. You fucking get it.
The Jerry Halliwell version. That was a bit deranged.
Oh, but I still loved it.
I love
Did you love her?
I did love her,
Yeah.
but also problematic in the context of the naughties and the body image projected. Now, thank you for that, Shar. We've already done our thank yous by sending you on your way with It's Raining Men.
So remember, guys, you like Shar can get in touch if you've got something to add to the chat. You can email her at hello@getagriplove.com. You can also use our Insta, which is @getagriplove. And we've also got a WhatsApp.
Yes, we do.
It's just like we're really pals, isn't it?
Send me a voice memo.
And that number is 07457 411 037.
No nudes, you little perverts. Now, after the break, we'll be getting into all the red carpet drama.
Ooh, we've got the Cannes Film Festival revealing outfits ban, which, don't get me started, fucking outrageous.
And I think we need to talk about Cassie testifying in court as well, don't we?
Yeah, we'll get into it after this.
Welcome back. It is time for our cultural commentary section, not gossip, remember, on what in the world is going on. Look at that undulating belly. What in the world? I feel like that's a skill. Is going on. Yeah.
I can't do it.
No,
It was good though. Have you always
Thanks.
been able to do that?
I think that's new for me.
Right, I've lost me
We need
place.
the jingle. I'm still hammering on about this jingle. Okay, so if you have any ideas for our jingle for what in the world, because apparently mine is not professional enough.
I liked yours.
I like it too. And it's impromptu, which means it changes like the weather. I think there's something exciting about that.
There's definitely a PC world tone to it though, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, okay, so legally we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Or potential headline sponsor.
Get in
Same.
touch, PC world, if you're still going.
Yeah.
We could remix it.
Oh my God, can you beatbox?
No.
I once at my 21st, my sister's 21st birthday,
You're going to tell me you like
my cousin sang Folsom Prison Blues, which is a Johnny Cash song, and I beatboxed behind him. It was impeccable.
Do you want to do a rendition?
What in the world is coming? It's coming. I can't do the two at the same time.
You're only one person, Hanja.
Exactly. You know?
That was actually
Also,
brilliant.
I've showed you my undulating belly. I don't want to make people feel, lesser.
in some way inadequate in your presence.
Exactly.
Well, it's too late,
Okay.
Angela.
I'm sorry. It happens.
So first on the agenda has to be one that I have not been able to stop talking about on my socials is Cassie taking a stand for the P Diddy trial. I just think what stood out to me, right, is less the fact that this is an 8.5-month pregnant woman taking the trial, which in itself is an incredibly stressful thing, facing her accused abuser. I mean, even if you can use the word accused anymore, we've all seen the video.
Yeah. Do we still have to say alleged?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to say it, but I also don't want to get sued. So yeah, I mean, I think he's a raging knobhead, if I'm honest. So sue us for that. Yeah. But run hell. Anyway, it's more what I've seen on socials has really got me quite upset. So obviously this is a woman who's been like federally subpoenaed to go. She didn't want to go.
Well, because it's the American government suing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So she's been forced to go. Like if she doesn't, she herself could get put in prison. So she's not like enjoying any part of this. It's incredibly stressful. It's incredibly awful.
So also reliving the
hell that he put her through for however many years. 11, I believe. Anyway, it's like the public's reaction to her going, if I read one more comment from some fucking cave dwelling knobhead, right, who says she could have left. If it was so bad, why did she stay? I think I might spontaneously combust into tiny little and shower everyone in tiny little pieces of me. It's just such a lack of understanding around domestic violence, such a misogynistic, such a just downright uneducated view of it.
Well, it's the most basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That if you don't like what you're in, get out. It's like that, you know, A to B. It's as simple as that. It's a pretty...
It's pretty horrible to think.
Again, it's the nuance and it's the power play. Not only the people calling her to just leave if she didn't like the situation have completely...
Because it was that easy.
Exactly. Yeah. But misunderstood the fact that this is not just a romantic seemingly relationship, but actually a professional relationship. And her career was potentially in tatters if she were to ever stand up to this man who supposedly loved her, but also held her future in his hands.
I don't get it. And I feel like I'm shocked at how many people do actually have that opinion. That's what's upset me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you assume this woman, as you say, and maybe it's beside the point that she's heavily pregnant, but in a very vulnerable kind of position, not necessarily the pregnancy, but she's about to drop, let's be honest, any time now.
They had to put her first because she could drop any time.
Exactly. And so she is there, as you say, reliving this. And it does feel, quite callous, the kind of dismissal of her. And I think it's been remarkable how composed and how measured and how you can tell she's obviously worked very hard to kind of put a bit of distance between she's processed.
She
a lot
looks
of it.
a bit healed. Is that what you're gonna?
Yeah,
I really agree. And that's all I want for her. You want her to be happy with this lovely fella and this gorgeous family that she's building because she deserves that. Anybody who escapes, everybody deserves it, but anybody who escapes domestic violence, like anything like that, certainly deserves it. And as you know, I think she's got this amazing husband now, and I'm not going to make it about him because it's all about Cassie. Yeah, but did you see the statement he made? Cassie saved Cassie. Like, that's all.
Yeah. But again, because everyone was like, almost a bit like, oh my God, she found a husband. This fallen woman has actually been taken in by somebody. There were undertones of a kind of, Jesus, you wouldn't think now any man would be into that. That's knowing what she got up to.
I read that.
Like slut shaming, basically, or this kind of shaming of this woman.
I read that very comment, Ange, on my Instagram. Yeah. Some man wrote, God, I can't believe anybody would touch after everything she's done. And I went, get the fuck off my Instagram page. I'm full of rage at the moment, if anyone doesn't know. Like,
let it rip.
I'm not picking battles, I'll take them all. Like, I'm actually... and I just want to fight everybody. And then I want to cry afterwards. So yeah, it was not the right time for some man to say that to me. But I just think, God, mate, are we not past that? And clearly we're not.
Yeah.
But I just think I love that she's managed to move on from this, find a lovely life and a lovely husband, have this gorgeous family. And I think Diddy should rot in prison.
Yeah. With a bit of luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Sticking with women being controlled and judged, let's talk about the Cannes Festival ban of naked or voluminous dressing, because obviously a fairy tale princess dress is like deeply offensive. So it's idiotic, isn't it?
The statement read, for decency reasons, nudity is prohibited on the red carpet as well as any other area of the festival.
And then the voluminous dress is to like keep people moving.
It's like a finely run ship, isn't it? Yeah. Military precision and all that. I just think, right, for me personally, like I've never been a a nipple on the red carpet kind of gal. Like I lean far more into like old school Hollywood glamour vibes, like
Beauty and the Beast.
Honestly, mate, it's a very I keep things quite classic, probably because I'm a bit scared, really, but also as well, like I just don't know. I don't want to get my nipples out. That's just
or
me.
your gooch.
I don't want anything out. But it's not. I believe if you want to get your nipple out, you feel confident and comfortable enough to have a bit of skin on show. That should be your decision.
But is it not a bit like free the nipple on Instagram, which has kind of gone away? But like, you cannot show your nipple. Like, if I'm a lad, I can show my nipple. I don't know what the difference between my nipple and your nipple is.
Absolutely,
apart from a few hairs, but like, I think
yours on the map.
Who knows? You'll never know, babe. But I do think it's again, it is just this weird kind of sense of trying to dictate what we're allowed to do, as if some feckin' lad sitting up in his dusty old collar is saying, no, I'm not into that. Now, part of me wonders if
she's going to play devil's advocate. Go on.
She loves a bit of advocacy. I wonder if there's a kind of catch-all notion that the naked dressing is done by a certain type of person, okay? So a person who goes in with the sole intention of getting tabloid headlines, you know, and like there have been studies done to show the amount of press and attention relative to the amount of skin on show. So it's kind of
sex sells.
Exactly. So you look at, I suppose, Kardashians, the Hadids. Bella Hadid has been brought up in this.
I've seen more of her tits than I've seen of mine.
Exactly. But
I could note against that.
she's not an actor. First of all, why is she at the Cannes Film Festival? So I guess maybe some people would say, I have toiled for years to create this piece of art. I go with my fellow actors and directors and producers and whoever else has poured their heart and soul into this project. And I'm standing beside somebody who's there with L'Oreal and nobody gives a shit about my little film. Everyone's looking at her nipples.
And that makes me sad, because Cannes should be about, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I fucking didn't.
You are, Cannes.
I'm a Cannes.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Cannes should be about the films and the directors, the artists, the actors, whatever you want to call it. And it might sound a bit pretentious, but I suppose that's the place to be pretentious if you're going to be pretentious anyway.
Exactly.
Best place to do it. It's fucking lovely and sunny. But if I was going to be pretentious, I'd do it in the sunshine. But and you're so right. There's a real validity to that argument. But to me, the bones of feminism is women being able to wear what they want, do what they want, and not be controlled. And this feels like a violation of that.
Yeah, and also I think, truthfully, if it was, because the whole naked dress thing, and obviously, Jane Birkin got her dids out on the Cannes Festival carpet years and years ago, and it wasn't really a big deal. But also, this festival particularly has a history of trying to control what women wear. That women were turned away in 2015 for wearing flat shoes. So they have a very singular idea of what it is to be a lady.
But do they bring, because I wouldn't mind it as much, right, if they brought the same energy when it came to what a man wears.
Oh,
but
no.
they fucking don't.
No, Pedro Pascal had his nips out, I think, the other day.
Also,
he certainly had his biceps out.
Oh, not to objectify him, but he could have anything out for me. I fucking love him.
But seriously, like, I would think that's in violation of Code Can.
Yeah, but you see, they don't. If you're gonna enforce a rule, enforce it across the board.
Yeah.
That's fair. But they're not. They're just controlling what a woman wears. They're just putting these rules in place for females. A man can still go with these arms out. You could probably do a Harry Styles moment with the chest out. Maybe if he wants to lash on a slutty thigh high boot, which I've seen a couple of the fellas doing these
Love
days.
a little slutty thigh high boot.
I do as well. But I just think it's not across the board, and therefore it's not fair, and therefore it does feel like a violation of women's rights.
And I also saw a comment that was like, I feel like Cannes are fine with women being objectified in full nude scenes when it's under the direction of a male director. However, if the said woman, maybe the same woman, is now on the red carpet with a stylist in collaboration, empowered in an amazing outfit, no. Not for us.
Stop it. No, and you're so right. And I just think it's a reflection on the way the world's going. Like, I do. And I know I sound like I'm being really dramatic because it's just a nipple on a red carpet, but to me it's more.
Yeah.
It is more.
Free the nipple.
Free the nipple.
Free all the nipples. Free all the nipples.
On that note,
If you've spotted a story about nipples or anything else, do get in touch. Headlines, hot takes, or heated debates.
yep, we want this podcast to be as much about you as it is about us.
Not really, but you know, within reason. We'll be the judge of what's enough for you.
Email us at hello@getagriplove.com. You can Instagram us, send her a DM at @getagriplove, or you can WhatsApp her at 07457 411 037.
I'm just asking for the listener, how do you spell "were"?
Were? Oh, were.
Yeah.
I would go W-E. Were.
Were.
Same as we, but I'd word it.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's all for today on Get a Grip.
I think it's for the best. We'll be back every Thursday. So please hit the follow button so you don't ever miss an ep, because that would be a travesty.
Also, I didn't know the follow thing was a thing. So follow. It's not just on Instagram.
You
have
can
to
follow
on
podcast.
podcasts. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Very important. You don't want to miss anything. Also, make sure that you're following us on Insta at Get a Grip Love and the TikTok at
Fuck off, we're on TikTok.
We sure are. Get a Grip Pod.
We're so Gen Z.
We're so Gen Z.
And have you seen the gagglers have given us some fab reviews so far?
What have we got?
Tobin wrote, "What a joy to the old ear holes. Unapologetic, authentic women having the bants and cursing like sailors." That'll be me. Such a great concept, and listen, absolutely cannot wait for more. Well done, girlies.
Cute.
Isn't that lush? So make sure you write a review, because we might read them out and make you famous.
Yeah, just write the review. Like, genuinely, I've had messages from friends who are like, "I really loved the podcast." I'm like, send me your review. Send me your review. Don't be filling me with shite now. Prove it. Prove it. You need to get on that. I have like a stock answer. I just send them now a picture that says, show me a review
Okay, so
or jog on.
I need to be telling people to do reviews.
I think so.
I will. I'll get on that with you.
Thank you.
And just remember,
5 stars or fuck off.